Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Today's class, as you know, is going to be related to the accounts receivable. But before that, I want to make a couple of announcements. One is by Monday, we're going to be able to offer you guys a monitoring service, and where you will be able to make money, and also it's going to be more effective, faster, and God permitting, it's going to be ready by Monday, and you will receive an email advising about that. Second announcement is we are we're upgrading the layouts in our software, and little by little, so I recommend you to upgrade frequently. You're gonna see many differences, and the new layout, the new way to present the screens is gonna be similar to this one. So this is the email screen, the email system, and as you can see, it's gonna be the whole layout is more pleasant, easy to read, and essentially it's gonna be a breeze to use. So be expecting new changes in every area. As a matter of fact, in this case, to explain about the accounts receivable, I upgraded the accounts receivable area. So obviously, you're not gonna see the same icons that you have in your systems, but you can upgrade by Saturday, and Saturday night you will be able to upgrade your versions and have that with a new layout. But essentially the functionality is the same, but I wanted to explain with a new layout that will be more useful eventually or immediately. Well, and so I'm going to start. And first, of course, this is an advanced class for those of you that don't know about it. So I'm going to start with the simple stuff, but again, then I'm going to go on subjects that might not be what you use at this moment or even for a while, and that's perfectly all right. But still, I need to have it in the video so you can review, you can replay the video later at a later time when you need those features. The basic stuff is like this. The basic purpose is of the account receivable is to control payments. The way to control payments is obviously very important, and the speed and the way you do it is the key to, especially for bigger companies, to be able to handle many clients with this. In other systems, in order to do this, is very cumbersome. You need to do it in an outside system that you receive a report, so still you need to compare the ones that are declined. Still you need to control what to say, what to respond, or how to respond, whether it is with a phone call or a template or something. So actually it takes pretty much one dedicated person to control the payments. In Credit Money Machine, one person can control unlimited clients pretty much with a couple of clicks. And the account receivable, depending on the version that you have, will be in the Finance tab, or it will be, if you're using the Ultimate version, it will be in the Expert View with the green icon. Okay, so not all versions actually have the account receivable, only the Pro Plus and the Ultimate. And in the case of the CRM, because it's also common to the CRM, our line of CRM software in crmrs.com, like Toys R Us, but with crmrs.com, you have it in the Pro version and in the Ultimate version. So we're going to start from the simpler version, for the simpler screen, simpler view, that is going to be easier. So all of these are going to be buttons. Eventually, pretty soon, you're going to see only buttons here. They're going to simply make the screen more pleasant, less crowded, so to speak, but the functionality will be exactly the same. So I'm going to click an account receivable, and this is the basic stuff. So let me explain, first of all, what I'm doing here. And I have the rightmost option. I don't need to click with the mouse. I could click just with an enter. That allows me that usually when I click here, and if I click enter, so I don't need to move the mouse from here to here, okay? So I just can click here and click enter to select the rightmost option, this one, dues from current. The way it works is like this. If I click this one, obviously the ones that are due from current will show. But if nothing is due from the current client, then all the receivables will show. So that way, you know for sure that either nothing is due and you see everything, because probably is what you want, or if you want just the dues, that's what's going to happen automatically. Second option is go without searching, meaning that it's going to go without searching for the dues from the current. It's going to go and leave whatever you had previously in the account receivable. This is also very important because sometimes you do something, you have a group of account receivables, and then you just want to go back without disturbing that group. So that is important. Then all dues. That means that it's not dues from the current client, but from every client. Then all from selected contacts, also very important. Imagine that you have a group of contacts, a group of clients essentially, a group of clients that you have selected some way, and then you want only the dues, actually all in this case, all from selected contacts, all the transactions, all the receivables from selected contacts. And the last one is all dues from selected contacts. So this is all from selected contacts, meaning all transactions, all receivables from selected contacts. This will be all from selected contacts. If you wanted all out of all, it would be better that you go there and click all in that screen, or select all the clients here by clicking all, selecting all the clients, and then you can go all from selected contacts. Okay, so I'm going to go with the most common one, which is the dues from current. Okay, dues from current. Okay, so this is the new layout. And of course, I don't have anything here. So that means there is nothing due and nothing at all, really. And so I'm going to explain a little bit the buttons, and then do actions, and also calculate commissions and tell you where and how you can charge with credit cards and with automatic checks or with check drafts, etc., etc. Again, we're going from the simplest to the most advanced features. As I said before, this is the new layout, so you're going to see that this is completely different of what you have, but is the one that is going to be your new layout from now on. The buttons are add transaction, add receivable, duplicate receivable. Sometimes it's useful just to duplicate the same one with the same data, the same everything, including the amount for certain reasons. Delete is obvious. Find receivable. So whether you're you can request from text or data from the notes, the payment notes, etc. Find contact. In this case, it will put the contact here. So if you find a different contact, different client, alternate view. Well, we don't need that now. It's simply an alternate view that you're going to see. Essentially, you're going to see just one in a better way. This is to go to the payables, and this one is go to the commission of the affiliate or anyone that you are commissioning, that you are giving commissions based on a sale, and it will be red if you see the tooltip. Go to payable, selecting the commission for the receivable, paid if red. So if the commission was paid already for the transaction on screen, in this case nothing, it will be red. Here is a go or create invoice based on this receivable, because they are two different systems, not the same system. The invoice is a completely separate system, but still you can create an invoice based on a receivable. Like, for example, for a client that requests an invoice, and you have, I recommend to use the receivables instead of the invoice, unless you cannot do it any other way, simply because you can do more, you can do faster, you can do more clients with one click. Copy to clipboard to copy all the receivables in a way that you can paste it somewhere else. Could be useful if a client asks you for reports, even though we have special reports, but this one will allow you to paste it into Word, whatever. And set default printer, self-explanatory, and find due receivables. We have two buttons here. This one, in addition to this one, that will give us all these options like today, yesterday, tomorrow, all dues, the current filter because we have filters here at the top left. The last 3 days, last 7 days. But in addition to that, we have two one-click buttons that will produce or will select all the dues or the dues for today. And also, if you see the tooltip, by the way, for those of you that don't know, when you press and hold, if you hover, you see that the bottom, it says hold the Alt key before hovering to see in the tooltip. So you can hover and then you can press the Alt key and then hover over the button in order to see to have a pop-up where you can see more clearly and also all the time that you want the different options of that particular button, which again, I have it for today or I have it for tomorrow or for yesterday just by clicking Shift or Shift Control. That will go to yesterday. We'll select the dues for yesterday. And this is the back button. Okay. And here is the client that we have selected at this moment. So in other words, that if I click add, that this will be applied to this client and not to another one. Okay, so I'm going to click add. This is the most simplest way to use it. Pretty much, it's nothing automated here. I'm clicking, as you can see, it moved automatically to the commission in case that I would like to do a manual commission. The commissions definitely can be done automatically in unlimited levels. Okay, but also can be done manually. So in this case, it's asking me if I want something manually. I'm not going to put anything right now, but also I want to point out what I could do. I could put a percentage. If I put 0 point something, so for example 0.5, that would be 5%. Okay, but if I put 5, the number 5, then it will be $5. So that's the difference, percentage or dollars. When it's more than 1, means dollars. When it's less than 1, it means percentage. So 25% is 0.25, and that will give us visually, you see, 0.25, and that will give us 25%. If I put $25, that will be $25. Next button is you can check this box if only you want one payment to be considered for this client. So sometimes, for example, you have like paying $50 for a referral or something, and you don't want to keep paying $50 obviously every time that you do a sale. I mean that you do a charge for the client. So this is the button to click. So only one payment, one commission will be triggered in this relationship between a client and salesperson or affiliate. We using distinctively affiliate for salesperson or referral person. So for us, it's exactly the same. So if I say one or the other, is the same. And these are the levels that you want to pay up. What it means is the following. Some companies you may have, for example, a general manager, and then you have the salesperson, and both get some commissions. And so maybe the salesperson is getting 20%, whatever, and the general manager is getting 5%. And then in that case, this relationship would be of 2 levels. If you want to pay 2 levels, you have to put 2. If you put 1 level only the immediate sales source affiliate referral will get the money. So you put 1 level, only 1 person will get the money. If you get 2 levels, that 2 people will get the money only if those 2 people exist. Obviously, they will need to be in the relationship. One has to be on top of the other, like is usual, and then it will trigger 2 commissions. And the commission is not necessarily 25. 25 will be for this direct commission for this one. The other one could have a percentage, could have a fixed commission, whatever. So, but also if this is only one payment thing, the other one will have only one payment, obviously also. Then this one counts how much money the system had paid. And you see 20 here simply because I was doing some tests, but in reality, so I deleted those things. So the reality is that now, right now will be paid zero, and the maximum dollars is the maximum that you would like to pay for a particular commission. So in other words, the commission could be divided into different payments. So let's say that you are saying, well, I'm going to pay you 25 bucks every time that I charge the client, and you're charging the client 99 per month, or any other amount, and then you say, well, but I'm going to pay you only until 300 bucks, and this is what it's going to be. So here you know how much you paid to this affiliate to a total, and this will be the maximum that will be paid. Here you can assign a commission manually, assuming that you had someone here selected. I don't have any salesperson yet. I'm going to assign one so you can see how it's done. So I don't have anything to work with, but it will assign the commission manually. And that is in those cases that you're not usually charging with a credit card, or you don't have a payment plan. Whatever is the case, it's possible to do it manually or even override the automatic sales commission. So in other words, you're going to see with payment plans, commission can be applied or suggested automatically, but still you can override them and put a different amount here, whether it is higher or lower. And here we have the same button that we had in the other screen, but this is very convenient because sometimes you want to, pretty much you are here seeing this and you want to see the commission for this transaction. So that's why here is not red. It's not red because really this commission hasn't been paid. If it was paid, the commission, and then it will be red. Okay, so now next step is and remember, we're doing this manually at this point. So far, we're doing this manually and not using any automation. Okay, but we will be able to go to that part in a couple of minutes. So here we're going to put the amount manually, 100 bucks, and we see several things. This is the day due, which obviously we can change to any day that we want. Okay, but manually, if I'm creating this today, well, probably it's for today. If we want to change it, we change it to any date. But most importantly, we have the recurrence information here. This is the recurrent indicator, and if it's checked, that means that probably, well, probably no, it should be more than one. So it's not only this one, but it would be this one, the one that we are on right now, plus as many as we have here. So in this particular case, is this one plus one that is going to be triggered at on June 23rd. Okay, next month will be triggered automatically. I might want to trigger this manually also. And so for example, let me put a different number here. So I'm going to put 3 to make it simple, but at the same time, I have a larger number. And so I have 3. And I can click this actually I'm going to put 10. I'm going to put this, and I'm going to click this red sign, the red icon. So now I'm triggering this manually. I don't have to do that. I'm doing it to show you that it's possible. Generally, I want to use this technique when the person, for example, I want to do a change in this amount for whatever reason. Let's say that I want to give a discount in the first payment, or maybe whatever is the reason, this one has to be different than the rest. So I want to trigger the second one, which is gonna, from now on, is gonna be 100, and maybe this one is gonna be different. It's gonna be 80. Okay, so this will be a technique. So this one, which is this one plus 9. Okay, total are 11 with this. So this one, it was 1 plus 10, 11. So this one is 1 plus 9, 10. 10 left. I can do that. Some people like to have all the payments triggered, and it sometimes makes sense. It makes sense because if you produce a report and you want a report that will show you transactions actually in the filter here. If you want to select something that is going to happen, like for example, for cash flow, are you going to have money in a month coming from clients, or how much money are you going to have from the clients that you have right now? So in order to do that, well, it's necessary that these payments, these receivables, are triggered. The way to do that, we have two ways, one automated way and the manual way. The manual way is here, you see, in the tooltip. Always when you think that something might be done, so, well, hopefully we have anticipated your wishes and we have created this feature that can be used. So always check the obvious button for tips, like this one says shift click to be able to trigger many receivables. So I'm gonna do that, and it's suggesting me 9. So in other words, it's suggesting me all of them, all of the ones that are left. But you can maybe say, oh, I only want 3 more for whatever reason. So you might want to just to anticipate a trimester or whatever. In this case, I'm gonna trigger the 9. So I do that, and it triggers all of them. That's why this one says a 0, and I have all of them triggered. So this is the basic stuff. Now I'm gonna try to see here if you are putting something in the chat, or if you have any comments. I don't see any comments, so that's fine. That means that everything's going smoothly. All right, perfect. Okay, so now we're going to enter into a little bit more advanced functionality. Okay, we're going to go back, and by going back, still we have functions. We have functions everywhere. By the way, I haven't talked about charging or anything, but we'll go that route. We'll go that route very, very soon. But I want to add an affiliate, have commissions, and stuff like that. So I'm going to go back, and even this button has some functionality. I can simply go back, which is again the default because it's the rightmost option. I can click enter and go back, or I can click current, which in this case is going to go back, but also select the contact on screen, the contact, actually the amount that I own at this moment. So I may have several people here, right? Because I selected the ones that do for today, and then I can go and select current, or I can even select selected, in which case it's going to select all the contacts that I have here and produce a group on the contacts screen. Okay, so now I click go back, because in this case it doesn't make any difference, but as you can see, it didn't select only, it was in the same position because I was here, but it didn't select only this one. It left the group that we had previously, which is only 5 people here, so it left the group. Okay, so here is where you're gonna select, where you're going to select the affiliate that is on top of this client for automation purposes. And in order to do that, obviously, we need some affiliate here. So we're gonna see how affiliates are created. I'm gonna go to the next record here. In real life, you will do a find for your affiliate. And then I'm gonna tag this contact as an affiliate. So in other words, this is going to be affiliate, referral person, sales source, salesperson. We call it different ways because in different industries require different terminology, and because of we have the CRM, etc. So I'm going to click contact is referral. Okay, I have this very powerful feature. Use it very carefully because you can select or assign or tag a group of people as affiliate. So if you imported, for example, a group of affiliate into your database from a different software, for example, that would be great. But if you import that, then you have, let's say that you have 200 affiliates. Well, it would be very tedious to go one by one and check them all. But on the other hand, you can click all, knowing that you have the 200 selected up here, and then you click all, and all of them will be tagged as affiliates or as referral people. Not necessarily that they're going to receive commissions, but they are affiliates. They are people that refer you deals. So in this particular case, I'm going to click current because I have few records, and I want you to just see one by one what I'm talking about. An affiliate cannot be the affiliate of himself or herself. So this is not possible to do at the same affiliate. That doesn't make sense. Creating commissions on your own sales. If you want to do that, for example, that you're an affiliate and also you get commissions even on yourself, you cannot do it directly. You need to create another record with your name. Maybe you're going to put number 2 here or something, a way to identify yourself. And then, yes, you can put yourself getting commission from yourself. One is going to be client, and another one is going to be the affiliate, the referral person, the one getting commissions, if any. I'm gonna still go and create another one, and let's assume that this one, okay, so let's assume that this one is a general manager, okay, so Brady is a general manager. So I'm gonna put here Brady, general manager, so we know. And here, I'm gonna put here salesperson for Andrew. So both are affiliate, but one is the general manager and the other one is the affiliate, the salesperson. This affiliate will have on top of him the general manager, okay? And the general manager, we're going to assign an override commission of 5%. And that's it. That's okay. Now, the client, he has this affiliate, okay, that is a salesperson. You can see Andrew salesperson directly, and it's going to get, we're going to give 20% commission, okay. We're going to put 2 levels in this relationship, okay. So that means that 2 people are going to be paid on this commission, Andrew and also the other affiliate, which in fact is the general manager. I hope that this is clear. If I don't see anything in the chat, I have to assume that is clear. Now we're going to go back to the account receivable. Remember finance here or the other icon, and go to the account receivable. In this case, if I click this, yes. What is going to happen? Well, it's going to show me only the ones that are due for this client, okay? Dues from current. Okay, so it's only one. The other ones are not lost, obviously. You can retrieve them by clicking all, for example, or even clicking dues. Well, the dues are the ones that are due at this moment, so you couldn't be able to do that at this moment. But clicking all definitely will trigger all transactions, all receivables for this client. And if I click the dues, it's going to click the one dues. And if I click the pay, well, and the ones that are on hold, etc. All right. So basically, that is kind of almost self-explanatory, but it's important that you know what it is. So now we don't have here, remember, the sales source, because we added the sales source after we created this. All right. So this is important that you realize that. You should have first the affiliate linked to a particular transaction before you can apply those charges. So I'm going to actually delete all of these transactions so we can have a new one. And we're going to actually add a new element. So I'm going to delete everything here. Remember, by the way, this with shift click to delete, select the receivables. So in other words, if you click just delete, it's going to offer you to delete only one, the one that you are positioned on, which is the one right now that it has the blue, the lighter blue here. And also, most importantly than the blue, most importantly is the black line here, because the blue is a programming feature. You know that sometimes if you work too fast, it might not be in sync totally, or if your computer is too slow, but this one will always be fine. So the black line here is the one that you should see. So I can delete this one, right? The one that I'm current, or if I click with a shift delete, then I can delete them all, okay? And actually it's verifying twice and telling you how many, because, you know, it's obviously very delicate that I'm deleting receivables. So we don't want that you make a mistake. Okay, so now we have a blank slate, and we can introduce either we can add one manually, okay, and you can see that in this case, Andrew salesperson in 2 levels, 20%, maximum 300, which is what we had. And so this was assigned automatically, and I can put an account here, pay it, and it will be triggering things. As a matter of fact, I can do it. So I can put 100 here. We have 20%, and you remember the other one is 5%. Then I can click the status. I can always do an automatic charge if I had a merchant account, but we haven't talked about that. So I don't want to confuse you with that at this moment. So we will be able to actually charge everybody with one click, 100 clients, 1,000 clients with one click. From disparate merchants, including the ACH gateway. So in other words, you can have different gateways like Authorize.net. There were merchants, Global Gateway, Limpoint Central, Dow Commerce, Pay to Merchant, XCharge. So you have different gateways and even the gateway for the ACH, and with one click you can charge them all. So it's a mix and match one-click thing. And this one is to create check drafts. Well, we'll talk with that a little bit later. But right now we're going to do it manually. Okay, so this is a manual thing. So when we click, this is the default. So it's very easy. Again, I don't need to click. I can click enter. I'm clicking so you can see where I'm putting my mouse. But I want to point out that in real life, you would like to pretty much click here and click enter so you don't have to move. And you have other options, obviously, to change the status, right? Away, hold, void, whatever. So I'm going to click paid. And if I had a bank assigned, I haven't assigned a bank yet. We'll do it later. I could select the bank for this $100, assuming that the $100 are going to be deposited, or say no deposit in bank, which sometimes is the case when people are paying by PayPal. Sometimes you know that you're gonna pay things through PayPal, or maybe you send the money from PayPal to your bank. That depends the way you do it. So I'm going to say no deposit in bank since we don't have any bank to choose from. So no deposit in bank, and that's it. You can see that here, this transaction, now we know that we paid this transaction because it's right here. And I can go to the commission. And I'm going to show it to you, that commission, in spite that it's going to look a little bit ugly. And the reason is not ugly, but they're going to look like with old look. And so hopefully you will appreciate the new look, and I'll try to work as hard as possible to have this thing ready, the other areas, as soon as possible. So I'm going to click here, and as you can see, we went to the payables with the old look. All right, nothing wrong with that. It's only that it's a little bit more crowded, and we can see two things. We can see that this one comes from receivable, and it has the number of the receivable that we have from the other side, and both come from the same receivable, obviously, but they are assigned to two different people. They come from the same client for $100, which is the original receivable. For Apple sample, what is the commission? The commission amount could be a percentage, or it could be $1 based on 20%. So in this case, it was a 20% of 100, so it's $20. 5% because it's based on 5%. So if this one was, instead of a percentage, would be a dollar sign, well, will be a dollar sign, and it will tell you whatever is the truth. But notice this: we have 5% or $5 here also in the amount for Brady the manager for the same receivable, and $20, right, for salesperson Andrew. And I have $20 here. They the same. The related document here is the receivable 603-4809, as you can see also here. And you can go to that receivable by clicking here, which I'm going to do in a second. But if I want it now, and if I had assigned properly a check, if I had a bank actually linked to these people, I will be able to create a check to pay for these payables for everybody with one click. So I will be able to click here and then select for selected payables, either in one-page format or in 3 per page format. So this is the standard check format that you get in Office Depot, Staples, etc. And the one I recommend is this one, 1 per page. And the reason is simple. You're going to get the bottom part with all the data automatically. You're going to have the payment notes automatically inserted and everything, and as opposed to just the checks. You get the checks, well, you don't get the copies for your accountant. So for me, the cost of the paper justify to having it here. By the way, even though I'm not going to do it now, but if you have several commissions for the same person, the program will ask you if you want to consolidate those commissions in one check, which usually is advisable. So you have 20 commissions, you don't want to probably do 20 checks. And in that case, it will ask you the program automatically, and you select yes, and then it will consolidate in, and it will do a special status here that will say consolidated, and will create another payable with the total of everything that that it was considered for that particular person. So that's a great thing. Okay, so right now I cannot do the checks. I don't have a bank linked to any of these affiliates, but you get the idea. The commissions were created correctly and the way we expected to happen. Okay, so now I'm gonna go back. Okay, I'm gonna go back to the receivables. I could go back in several ways, you know. Right here I have shortcuts, and also I have options here. As a matter of fact, I already clicked and I have to go. So you can go to the receivable with the current client's dues, or go to the receivable without searching. Probably I'm gonna search this one, or I could click on the particular receivable for a particular payable. In other words, the commission that was triggered by a receivable, and I can click the go button to go to that particular document. In this case, I'm going to go without searching, meaning that whatever I had there is going to be displayed. Okay, now, okay, so we have the first payment is paid and everything, but usually you have more complex things, and those things are payment plans. So in other words, you don't do just one charge, and certainly you don't want to do it manually, because that could mean that you have for example, well, you know, that you need to create every plan that you do manually each and every time. Not too efficient. So here we have a payment plan system. In the payment plan system, we have kind of a summary of the default commission system, right? 2 levels, 20%. Remember, only showing here one, even though I believe that I have other places. Yes, exactly here. In the reports here, we have a place where you can see the different levels. So first level, second level, third level, referred by third levels. If up to 3, you can see in one line. But essentially, payment plan, you see the first one, and you can select here any payment plan, and you can assign a shortcut to it. So I'm gonna create a payment plan, maybe 2, so we can see the difference and do a shortcut for each one. So here, create, modify payment plan. Okay. All right. So so we're gonna click here. And here we have the options. Find payment plan. You can have unlimited payment plans, add, duplicate, and close. This one, as you can see, hasn't been changed to the new look, but it will. So add, here we put whatever it is. So let's say we put credit repair plan A. Okay. Try not to type repair, but repair. And so the group here can be whatever. I'm going to put credit repair, credit services, credit repair. So this is the down payment, initial amount, $299.97. I remind you that, legally you shouldn't charge a down payment for your services. So you have two options. Basically, you either say that it's a financial consulting, and that's why we have all these wonderful areas in the program, like the account receivable, the reduction analyzer, budget center, multi-section loan center, or maybe you should consider selling the personal financial builder that you can buy in quantities for only $9.95. And with that, you can pretty much justify your initial setup fee because it's going to be a sale of a software plus this, but you can market to this person forever inside the marketing area. So that's going to be a win-win situation, and your client will actually be grateful forever. Here is the credit card and check memo description. So this is what will be in both places or in both places. So let's see that we're going to put financial consultation because we don't want to have, and this is the private description, so you can put set a fee if you like. And so this one doesn't go anywhere, but it's going to stay with you. Here is how these people are going to pay. So maybe, if you know that the client is paying in cash, well, whatever, you can add it to the cash to this one. But usually when you pay in cash, you don't put anything. So, but in this case, let's say that I'm going to put authorized.net. So they're going to pay with authorized.net. If they were going to pay with check, like a check draft, then you mark check draft. Then the commissions. So again, depending on the payment plan and the structure of your company, you can put something different here than what you put on the other side. So this one essentially will override, especially if you have a different number. So in other words, if you have 3, for example, it's going to override the other one. And you can put even the commission. So if you don't want to override anything, you just leave it blank. The charge of accounts, you can change it or you can leave it on sales. These are user-defined fields that you see here, and these are used essentially to get information about this client, etc. So usually you don't need it right now, but it's possible. That it's kind of a different amounts for different user-defined fields, and then you have the recurrent payments. So let's say that you have 12 payments in the amount of $79. Let's be nice. And days to start, I'm going to put 0, even though it's every month. So that means that automatically the program is intelligent enough to know that this is going to start the next month. You don't have to put 30 days, but you could put more if you don't want to start next month. So you can put 15 if you want to start in 45 days and then every month. So that will be, and here maybe it's going to be credit repair services or anything else you want, and the description the same. Now this one could have, for example, this one could be paid with a check, for example, with an ACH checks, while these ones could be paid with authorized.net. So that's perfectly possible, and maybe that is your policy. So that is not something that you that is not a one particular way to do it. As a matter of fact, it's we try to give as many possibilities as possible, and this is kind of important. Maximum commission to play based on this plan. So if you have a plan that where you're charging people general $600, for example, well, I'm sure that this plan essentially is going to be something in the neighborhood of $1,000 or a little more. So maybe you're giving $300. I don't know, to your salespeople, whatever. So this is the maximum commission to pay for this payment plan. But you can have another payment plan. So I can do an ad and do a quickly. As a matter of fact, let me delete this one because I'm going to do a duplicate, and that will. And I'm going to put B here, plan B, and I'm going to put here 99 down, 99.97. It's going to be the same here, and here I'm going to put 24 payments, something. Okay, and I'm gonna put here 200, only to make it different. Okay, and that's it. So now I can create as many programs and many payment plans as I want. Close it. That's it. Now I have here two choices: either to create a shortcut or to do it by hand. Not by hand, but by selecting from the drop-down menu every time. So first thing, well, let's create a shortcut because it is so easy. I select the payment plan I want, And actually, I'm gonna do something first, to be honest, because if I do it like this, both of them are gonna say payment plan at the end. So I'm gonna do like this: Plan A, credit repair, and Plan B. The reason is because the shortcut button is quite small, and then it's gonna be difficult to read if I assign it to this little thing. So the way to insert it here, you can see in the tooltip, is shift click. So I'm going to shift click, and I have Plan A, as simple as that. And I'm going to select Plan B, and I'm going to put it Shift Plan B. That's it. All right. So so now I'm going to insert it and see what happens. Also, I could have inserted by clicking here. Again, that will be identical if I don't have it in the shortcut. Personally, I have many payment plans because I have so many software, and so sometimes I don't have it in the shortcut. I have this full in every possible, you know, the most useful plans that I have, but I have many others that are here in the drop-down menu. So in that case, I just select and click Insert Payment Plan, and so I'm going to click Plan A, and that's it. It asks me two things. The quantity of this plan, usually one, but it could be more. Give you the example in my case, but you can have similar cases. Sometimes I sell the network seats. As you know, this is the license for additional concurrent users for most of my software, and then they can be bought in or rented in several, in more than one at a time. So, you know, so it could be 3, 4, whatever. So I put the quantity here, so I don't need to create that. It will create one lump sum with the total. And the number of days to start. This is kind of a very important, because sometimes you are creating the plan, you are creating everything, the receivables, but you're not charging. The perfect scenario is when you say the three days rescission notice. That is the perfect scenario that you consider when to put 3 days, for example, to charge. So that will be done automatically. In this case, I'm going to put 0, so we can have it due. Okay. So what do we have here? As you can see, instantaneously. So it took a second. We have two things. This one, there is $299, and which is the down payment, right? Or we have and we have the 79 for 12 payments. So this one plus 11, okay? And we have the commissions created, not triggered because nothing has been triggered yet, okay? The commissions created for the Andrew, 20% in the 79 for the next month, and this also Andrew, of course. The other one will be triggered because I have level 2. If I had level 1, like for example, let's say that the general manager doesn't get any commissions on future payments, that will be the moment, this will be the moment to change this to level 1, okay? By the way, the payment plan also considers that, okay? So here you can put 1 in this one, and this one have 2, etc. In that case, the recurring will be 1, but the main one will be 2. So you can do mix and match. Right now, you see that this one was prevailing from the other side, meaning from the client side, because it was a level 2. So the other one is 1, is kind of at the default. So this one is kind of more important because it has a 2, so it was prevailing. All right, so we have 299, 79, all the payments are okay. But if we click here, dues, it's going to select only one because only this one is due. This one starts next month, as you can see, and then it will be triggering the rest automatically. You don't need necessarily to click this one to trigger the next payment. It will be triggered automatically on June 23rd. When you enter on June 23rd, this one will be triggered automatically. But you are optionally, you can trigger them manually, one or more payments, especially if you want to analyze future payments like a cash flow in the future, forecasting your cash flow. Okay, so now normally what will happen in real life, but we don't have here any hold on a second, we created here this we were in the wrong. I didn't want to do it this way because we created this into the affiliate. a bad idea, not in the client. So give me a second. When I went back, yeah, because I was here. Okay, so I want to go here into the client. So the beauty of this, and now it will take a second, literally, okay? I have this one that I tried before, so now I'll go to the payment plan, click payment A. Oh, by the way, I can also continue and trigger all the payments. So that there is an option that I didn't explain before, so this would be kind of a good to explain now. If you want, for example, let's say that you have those 12 payments and you really want to see those 12 payments, you don't have to necessarily go and click the red plus manually, but actually you can trigger all the payments at once. I'm not going to do it so I don't have a crowded screen, but it's perfectly possible, and many people would like to do that, okay? And the payments have to be less than 361. In other words, I consider that if you put more than 360 is an error. It's an error in the sense that you don't want to trigger all those payments manually. But if you want, you can do it pretty much with just clicking the button, but not with this, because imagine if you have 99.99, like it's a service forever, and then it will trigger 9,000 payments. That wouldn't make sense at all. So anyways, so I'm gonna click continue. And I have the same thing that I had before, only that I have the right client, Apple sample, okay, and the right affiliate is the same. Now, in the real life, what will happen now is either I charge the credit card of this person with authorize.net, right? Click on it. Actually, in the 299, I'm gonna click cancel. In the 299, so I'm here in the 299. That is gonna be paid with check, and this is going to be with check, and then I click on charge amount, charge here, and then this will trigger in the ACH checks, it will trigger this charge. But this will be if I want to do it right away for this customer, which usually is what you do, but also you could do it in a different way. That is after, at the end of the day, or maybe at the beginning of the day, you're going to come here in the find due receivables and click either this one or this one or this one in the center, and then select today or dues as appropriate. Since we have this shortcut, so to speak, for to do all due among all clients with one click. So pretty much what we do here is to click, and actually it's asking you if you want to sort it by date, which is the default, or by client name, and you will say why. And the reason is that when people don't pay previous payments, you may want, if you know that your set of receivables contain many people that are that haven't paid, you might want to have it by name, so you can see those payments together and don't get confused with those payments at the end of the list. In this case, we don't have the problem, so the default is by date. So we will have a list here of all the ones that are due for today, and we can charge them all, and this is the important part here, is that we can charge them all with one click by clicking this, but not current, because current will be only this one. I need to click selected. So if I have more than one due and I want to charge them all, and assuming everything in between, in the sense that they are correctly assigned to an account that you have, I will click selected, and it will charge everybody. And it will put the data here. I'm going to click, still I know that it's going to obviously don't go. As a matter of fact, it's going to give me an error because I don't have any data for this, but I'm going to click anyways, and it's going to give me a huge error here in the payment notes. Even if it's doing something, it's taking too much because it doesn't have any data. So it's passing blank, so it's kind of a very bad idea to have done this with everything blank, meaning the bank is blank, so I don't have the connection to the bank, and I don't have the connection, I don't have any banks assigned to this client, like the routing number, account number, etc. You can always click escape, but they're definitely not something that you would like to do. So it's doing a timeout. That is going to do it, I don't know, probably in 60 seconds. Unfortunately, when you don't have the data, things like this happen. Well, in the meantime, I can explain other things, so you know everything about this. You have different options. For example, we have snippets here. Hopefully you know what is a snippet from previous lessons, but a snippet is a way to have the data, the same data consistent. So this data was created from the payment plan, and supposedly is correct. But if you created the account, if you created the receivable, you see, well, it took forever because it had to time out. So it climbed not in the database, etc., etc. But actually, it communicated with the server in ACH, the green bank thing for the ACH, and essentially gave us the response. And the response was the client doesn't have an ID. Nothing was correct. So, but also actually serve us to do this. It tells us in red the ones that are declined. So this is very, very important, obviously. And not only that, imagine that you have a bunch of transactions here, and you receive a few in red. You don't have to go one by one and see them. You can select them all with one click. So you click on the red button here, and it will select all the ones that have been declined, all the ones that are red, essentially, either from all meaning even the ones that they are not being shown here, or from selected receivables, or you can even omit them if that's what you want. For example, you want to see all the ones that actually were paid, so you omit them, and then you have the total here of the one that have been paid. Or you can click the black arrow. So we're going to do a couple of examples, but let's say first example, from selected usually is the one that you like. From selected, going to give us all of them, and then you can send an email. Okay, this email have to be assigned. You need to pre-assign a template, actually, in the template manager. Well, we'll do that next week. We're going to do template manager because it is so important. There are so many features. But essentially here you could have one shortcut for the template that would say your payment decline, and you can send it to everybody. Okay, so you can click here and send it to all selected records, and that'll do it. With that, yeah, everybody will receive an email saying that it was declined. That can be done even automatically. You can have an autoresponder. We haven't explained about that yet. I mean, we're not going to do that today. Autoresponder is a different subject, but you can have an autoresponder and have a number of declines for the client that you want to consider for a particular client before sending that autoresponder. So in other words, maybe you don't want to, the first time that a credit card declines, to complain to the customer. Maybe you want to do it at the second time, in which case you would put second here, and then you will need to assign an auto messenger, and this auto messenger from, we don't have any, but from selected auto messengers, that will be decline payment. So you don't need necessarily to do it manually. Personally, I'll do it manually because it gives me a little bit more control, but that depends. You have thousands of clients. Obviously, you want more automation, so you can have it here and have it automated. Or even you can assign an auto messenger automatically using the shortcuts, or selecting the auto messenger from here, so you can assign that automatically, semi-automatically. So you can assign an auto messenger, you can trigger an auto messenger automatically, or you can select or select with the shortcut one template, one letter, and email it to one or all of them with one click. So all of those options are perfectly possible. Now, the other options that I was showing before, for example, let's say that I have, before I didn't have all, I had, this is the omit button, by the way, you see, omit, I can omit this one. This is what I had originally, and if I want to say, for example, give me all the ones, no, let me select all the ones, all again. So let's say that I want all the ones that were paid, and I have it selected. Okay, let's assume that this is a list of the ones that have been paid, and so I can click in the black arrow, which filters the database by the field at left in many places of the software. Okay, and here we have paid status as a default, and I can click from selected, which is the what we want actually, and then I have the total paid, because that's what I selected, and I have the total here of whatever I selected. Okay, I have this functionality I have duplicated simply because sometimes you are evaluating transactions here and you have many and you want to see it right here. So you know, as I always say, I'm a lazy user, but I'm not a lazy programmer. So I try to provide you with as many options as possible. Okay, so this is the way that you select whatever you want just by manipulating these buttons, all, whole, pay, do, and manipulating also the black arrows. And then you can sub-select pretty easily. You have a client and you want to select everything that he paid or not paid, or they are due or they will be due, etc. And you can do it pretty quickly. By the way, in some cases, for example, and this is also important, and remember, this is an advanced class. The most of you are not going to do but only 10% of what I'm explaining. You're going to do the basic stuff, do a payment plan, and create it, have it, charge it, and forget about it. But it's my duty to explain all the advanced features, because otherwise you will never know that those advanced features exist. So this is the purpose of these master classes, is to explain all the different details that are not explained anywhere else. So here we have a series of buttons, and what they do is to pretty much change the display a transaction to a future date without deleting and without changing the actual date. So for example, this one is due today, May 23rd. And let's say that because I'm going to work several times during the day, I don't want that this one will be selected anymore today. Or maybe the client called me and said, or I called the client, and the client said, oh yeah, no problem, it's going to be by Monday. Okay, no problem. So in that case, I will click 3, okay, 3, and this one you see had been omitted. The one of that we had 299 had been omitted. Means nothing. Means that they have been omitted. If I click the dues, it won't show. Okay, it won't show because had been omitted internally. So if I do this, you see there is nothing here. But if I click these dues, yes, it will show that. But if I click find due receivables, this one will be omitted until the 23rd, because I click the 3 numbers. If I want to change it back to today, well, I'll put today and that's it. Okay, so I have even all these days, 5 days, 7 days, a month, and what is this? Options, especially prevent you from showing when clicking the do selection. Okay, and so basically this is to change the date, not to change the date, to change the display date as due of a transaction that is supposedly to be due today. So it's going to be changed. But it doesn't change it when you click these dues or when you come from the client. That's the other thing. So if I'm going back here, okay, and going back normally, and I come back, it will be shown, okay, because it's what I want. I'm coming from the client, and notice that the other 2 transactions are not being shown. The reason is that there are due, which is this one in particular. So that means that the other 2 have been omitted for now. You want them all, you click the all button here, and then you have them all. But the beauty is that if this one was paid, then it will show everything. So let me prove it to you. So I'm going to pay this one manually, say not deposit in bank, case paid, and I'm going to go back and go back again. And by going back, right? But I mean, I'm sorry. I'm in the wrong contact. In the wrong contact. All right. Now I'm in the right contact. Okay. So you see, in this case, is showing the 3 receivables. 3 receivables and not 1, because there is nothing due. This one will be due on June 23rd, and in future triggerings in the future receivables, but it's not due today. Because of that reason, it's showing the whole history of the client, which usually 99% of the time is exactly what you want. Okay, so okay, all the little things here that you should know about. Here we have a kind of a tooltip. Okay, whether you see it in the tooltip or you see it here, where you can show the ABS code. What are these codes? The codes that you receive as a response from the server of the merchant account, so of your merchant ISO. So telling you, for example, that the SIC code didn't match or whatever. But usually when you see that it wasn't approved and it tells you the code, if you come here, you will know what's happening. Sometimes the CVV code doesn't match. So you see an M code, an M or an N. So you see one of these two, that means that the CVV code not match, or no address, or SIP match. So there's a problem with the address of the SIP match. So by knowing that, having it very handy, either here, you see, or by clicking on it, you can determine the response from a merchant, from your gateway, from authorized.net, for example, and determine which one is which. And okay, let's see what more we have here. We have the selection of credit cards. In this particular case, I only have one card, which is obviously a fake, but I have one card assigned to this client. Let me show you where to assign more cards. You cannot do it in the simpler view. You need to do it in the advanced view or expert view in the manage credit cards. Okay, so here I'm going to add another one, which is going to be the same, but it's just to show the other one. And I'm going to put up, in this case, whatever I put is going to be valid, but I want to show you, you see it's valid. Here, when I click here, it's going to offer you the ability to change the address for that particular credit card. So every client can have up to 5 different credit cards. And also, you can click here to copy these and to explain something. For example, that would be appropriate if you're saying, it would be appropriate if you're saying, for example, you click here to have the time and who did it, and maybe you're saying here, this card was given by phone, and on the phone, and then you paste the number, right? I click on number 2 to copy this, so you paste the number so you can identify it. And I advise you not to identify by number 2, and the reason is because you might want, for whatever reason, to move the position of the credit card, so you can move them up or down, and so maybe you don't want to do that. Also, you can force invalid a credit card. So let's say that the client tells you, I don't want to use this credit card anymore. You can force it to be invalid, so it won't be charged anymore by mistake. But still, you have it here, even though you cannot read it, because as opposed to other programs that show the full credit card, and that is illegal, essentially, and it's a big problem. It's a big liability for you guys. So anyways, so once you enter it, but by the way, when you enter it, if you made a mistake, yes, you have it in the Windows clipboard. And obviously, if you want to put it for sure, well, you can put it here. That doesn't make it legal, but at least the software is not the one that is giving you the option to, to give you the liability. Okay, so now we have these two, and the reason that I did that is just to show you that here, when I enter, now I can see both here, valid 1 and valid 2. I can go to the left here and see the actual number, date, and if it's valid, and how many. And the one that it was charged is going to show here, so so you know which one had been charged, and it goes in order. So automatically it's going to try to charge. So if you put number 2 here, for example, so it's going to start trying to charge by number 2, and then if it doesn't approve this credit card, it's going to go to number 1 because it's still valid. So it's going to go around, obviously one time only. We're not going to do it 10 times. So we're going to go around and try to charge with as many credit cards they are in file. But or unless you have put it invalid. If you have forced it invalid, it won't show here. So you only have one choice to charge. By the way, at least one valid credit card had to be present right here in order to be charged. Okay, I think this is sufficient. I can explain briefly the fact that how and where you're gonna add a bank for a client that wants to pay with a bank account. So that will be, again, in the finance area, in the finance tab, by clicking the bank and checks. Okay, so first of all, we need to have a bank account. All right, so here, bank and credit card accounts. So this is for you. No one enters here. This is for you, for your accountant. So I'm going to add one account, and I'm going to put a fake account here, but at least I have a bank to work with. This has many features that we will talk eventually at some point, not today. But we have a bank now. Now, here we have two options. A check is going to be from the client or it's going to be to the client. Well, if it's an affiliate, for example, okay, so let me go to an affiliate first because it's a simpler thing. I have to assign from which bank I'm going to pay the affiliate. So definitely I'm going to click here to do check to contact. So I'm going to pay to the name or I'm going to pay to the company. Well, it depends. So in this case, I'm going to pay to the name Andrew salesperson. What bank to use? I only have one, so I select this one. And what check to use is going to be automatic, pretty much. But if I click on it, it's going to put something. And then if it was the second one, I can do the same, right? I can do the same, pay, bank, and the next one, I'm sorry. The next one is, I'm gonna do it for the client. Okay, and this is gonna be a check from the client, sorry, I went to a record, but it was blank. And so I need to enter, so I'm saying several things here. I'm saying that it's gonna be deposit into this bank, which is the bank that your merchant account is going to deposit the money to. And let's say that this is Bank of America. Okay, and the address is Main Street, and this is whatever. I'm going to put Miami, Florida, and I'm going to put a phone number, whatever. 555-1212. The account, most importantly, obviously, otherwise it's not going to work. And the routing number, as you know, has to be 3 numbers. By the way, if you put a routing number here and click here, okay, it's possible that all this data will be set automatically. It's possible, not a must. Sometimes it's not perfect. But you know, it can save you a few minutes if you want. So it's going to put the data of the bank if you put the routing number first. So I'm going to put 321-321, and the initial check number that the client gave you. Okay, and so that's that. You can create checks obviously manually here by clicking add or add here and putting an amount and a date, and you can create checks. But related to our subject, the accounts. The accounts receivable, which is the one that we are talking about, if we charge right now through a check, in this case will be a check draft, but also it could be a ACH checks. I cannot do it simply because obviously I don't have connected this to a real account, but I can do a check draft like the client is paying with the check. So I can do a check draft, and this is what's going to happen. I can do one in this case. Selected will be exactly the same since both are paid. So I'm going to click one, okay, and it's giving error, payee name not empty. Okay, this is what happens. I don't have in the setup an account set up here in this testing account. So I'm going to set it up right now in a second, and probably now it's going to be fine. And I'm going to try again, create check draft. I can do selected or current, whatever. Okay, so now it was created. So several things happen as expected. The commissions, you see, you pay the commission is here. So I can go there and see the 2 commissions for Andrew and this one. You see different commission, $395, $15.80 as per the percentages. I can create now the checks for these 2 if I want. So I can do selected one page and create 2 checks. In this case, it's asking me if you want to consolidate it because there's more than one check that I'm doing. I'm going to say no, obviously. and it created the 2 checks right now, and I can go and see it. And I can go directly and see the checks. So in this case, is this check, and this is not this class, the checks class, but you can see it created a check to Andrew for 1580, and I can select all the checks to do. In this case, 3 checks. Okay, this is a John Doe test that we did before, or I did before at some point, and so we have 3, and I can print them all, etc. But most importantly, is the bank received that money. Okay, well, they received the item. Okay, so the 2 items created, the 2 checks created are here. Okay, 395, 1580, and the deposit that you're going to make, okay, for $79 because we printed that check. And this is what, but that will be explained in detail when we have our bank class. And now I'm going to give just a few seconds if you want to ask me a question, and through the chat. I'm going to put this for now. You have any questions in the chat? I don't see anything. So, see. Okay. Okay, so that's fine. That's fine. So that I think that will be all. You will receive emails with emails for the next master class for next Friday, and on the template manager. But you're very welcome to make me suggestions if you think that something else is much more important. Remember, we are going to cover everything in detail, so this is going to be really very useful to you guys, hopefully. But I'm very welcome to all your comments. Thank you for staying here with me, and that will be until the next time. And I'm going to leave this screen for a few seconds more in case that you don't know any of my links or phone numbers or email. And then that will be that for today. And thank you all.